Hello, so I'll be showing how to import Mixamo animations to Blender, then to Godot 4. I'll be showing my whole in-depth process, so let's start. First is to prepare the actual 3D model. I'll be getting a model from Sketchfab, and I'll search for a low-poly character and hit download. It's better to choose a model with a T-pose stance or near to a T-pose. Typically, you may want to download the OBJ or the FBX file, but since this one doesn't have it, I'll just download the Blender file. Open up the blend file in Blender and check if the model is already good. Click on File, then Export, then choose OBJ or FBX. I'll use OBJ on this one. The default configs are already fine, so just hit Export. Go to Mixamo, then click Upload Character. Choose the exported file and wait until it processes the file. It will show the preview of the model. It may have no color, but it's fine. We could put it back later. Then, place the markers on the model. This will rig the model automatically. Also check the level of details. Since this is just a low poly, I'll just pick no fingers. Click on Next and wait until the auto-rigging completes. Once it's done, review the movements of the character. When it's good, just click on Next. Now, we can choose an action we want to model to be animated. For animations like walking or running, you may want to tick the In Place option, so the model will only change position based on the logic of your game. Click on Download. The default configs are fine. Let's download other animations for our model. I also download a T-pose for my models in case the default model does not have it, but you can skip this part. Go back to Blender and create a new general file. Delete this cube and import the FBX files we've downloaded earlier. Let's leave only one model in our collection, so let's delete the non-T-pose animations. Also delete the other meshes that popped up. Go to the Animation tab, then select your model. The bottom is the Action Editor, and this is the name of the animation. Rename it to the actual action. In this dropdown are the other animations we've downloaded. You can change the end frame for looping and rename the animation. Do the same for the others. After that, export the model to GLTF. Fire up Godot, then import the GLTF by dragging it into Godot. Double-click on the imported file to see the advanced import settings. You may see nothing like mine, but it's just the scaling. We'll fix it later. Under the animation play, choose the animations you want to loop like running, then select its loop mode to linear. Then hit Re-import. Right-click, then choose New Inherited Scene. I'll scale up the model by 1. We add a new scene, and let's make the parent node a character body 3D. Go back to the inherited scene and copy the child nodes. Then, paste it to the new scene we created. There's a warning here because we don't have any collision shape, so let's add that up. If we'll check the animation player, we can see the animations we've got from Mixamo. Here you can see that the run and walk animations are on loop. Let's save the new scene so we can import it to the main scene. Let's name it Player. You can now delete the inherited scene. Let's import the player scene. I'll make the floor bigger so the model can walk on a longer platform. If we'll hit run, you can see that we have imported the model, but it doesn't really do anything. We'll create a script that plays the animation depending on the movement. Go to the player scene and add a script. I'll add some things to the default code so it will play the animations. Here's the updated code. I added a run speed for running, a boolean to check if the model is jumping, and a variable for the animation player. Then if jumping is true and it's touching the floor, jumping will be false and will play the T-pose animation. I added a jumping equals true and play the jump animation if space is pressed. I also added some conditions if the player is not jumping. So run animation if shift is hold, walk animation if it's just moving, then T-pose if it is just still. I also tweaked the velocity depending on whether the player is running or not. Then, I added a signal to the character body when the jump animation is done. To add the signal, just head to the right side of the editor, then under the Node tab, double-click on the animation finished signal, then connect. When the jump animation is done and the player is not on the floor, jumping will be false. If we run, you can see that it's just a T-pose, if not moving. It walks when I move, then it runs when I hold shift, and it plays the jump animation when I hit the space. We've successfully made our model play animations depending on the movements. There will be times that we want to add more animations to our model, so just do the same thing in Mixamo and download the new animation. Import the new file, then delete that in the collection, as we only need its animation. Head on to the animation, select our model in the scene collection, then find the new animation in the action editor and edit the name. Export the file as GLTF, and we can replace it with the old character file we did earlier. In Godot, let's delete the old imported GLB file and replace it with the new one. Let's configure the loop animations again and hit re-import once done. Right-click on the GLB file and select the inherited scene, or you can do the longer step like what I'm doing here. Copy the animation player from the inherited scene, then paste it to the player scene. We can delete the old animation player. You can see that the new animation is here. Rename the new animation player the same as the old one. Now, reconnect the signals we had from the old player to the new one. We could delete the inherited scene as we don't need it anymore. Now, I'll change the idle animation with the new animation we just added. If we hit run, you can see that the new animation has been added together with the old animations we had before. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.